Hi, I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough on how to set up Rewire between Acid Pro 10 and Studio One version 4. Just for purposes of showing you this, I'm just going to start a new song here. So now that Studio One's open, you're going to have to go start Acid 10 in administrator mode to have access to change the rewire ports. So go down to your version of Acid, right click, go up to the more, and tell it you want to run as administrator. It'll fire Acid up and it will make the rewire connection. And the way you're going to know that it's rewired is you go up to Options, go to Preferences, go to Audio, Audio Device, and you'll see that it's Rewire Driver. The only time you can get this to pop up is when you are in Rewire mode. If you start Acid standalone, you can't get to this screen. So go down, click on Advanced, and this will show you the number of extra rewire ports that you have. I've already done mine, and I set it to the max of 26 stereo, 32 mono. So if yours is the default, it probably says like 1 and 2 or whatever that is. Change it. Just go ahead and change it to the maximum value. Now when you do that and you click OK, I'll just go ahead and change a value in there. It should do nothing, and that's what it's going to do. Now, because you're in administrator mode, even though you can't click on OK and do anything, it's gone ahead and made the changes to your configuration for your rewire ports. Come down here, click OK, and they'll tell you in the instructions that after you change the port settings, you have to go ahead and quit both applications and restart them so that you'll be able to see all the new ports. And this was one of the steps that was messing me up, because I've been trying to figure out how to get Rewire into Studio One for over a year. I'll fire up a new song. Okay, so now you have the available ports. You can go ahead, go down here. You can tell it to open up Acid Pro. And I've gone ahead and set mine up already, and so this won't be like a 20-minute video, but here, when you start a new project, everything in here is going to say master, and you won't have these extra buses. So what you have to do, every single track that you want to port out as an individual track into Studio One has to go out via a bus where it says insert bus. So I've already gone ahead and inserted buses for each one of these tracks. You have to assign the track now to the bus, each one individually. You could group multiple tracks together if they're all the same kind of, like if you got multiple bass parts and you want to run them out as one, you can do that. Go to the bus, and here is where you're going to see these are all the rewire ports that we just added starting Acid in administrator mode. So this is the max amount of stereo ports and the max amount of mono ports. Assign a unique one for each track that you want to go out, and that now you will have each one of these tracks going out to Studio One. We can make this go away. Now, in order to get them into Studio One, you're going to have to tell it to activate those ports. So if you go down to the console, and here's Acid 10 tell it to expand. And here, these are all the stereo ports, and these are all the mono ports. So you can just go ahead and activate however many of these you want that you're bringing across, and now it can see to get in. You can go ahead and get rid of the console now. And now you have to give it audio tracks to land on, because those extra channels you added, you can't record to them. So, well, just go up here and add a track. Let's do 3, just for an example. They're audio tracks. They're going to be pre-pended with whatever you put in here. I called them Acid just so I know. I use the pack folder option 2, which is nice because then you can just fold them all up when you don't want to work with them. They're coming in a stereo. There's no preset. And here's where you tell it that you want access to the rewire ports. So as far as I know, you can't tell it to go just assign to every, like increment them. Now assign, so you have to assign them all to 1. Created 3 acid tracks, and their description is long, so I usually drag this out just so I can see what I'm looking at. So they're all assigned to port A. Go down, instrument, now you assign this guy to port B. You assign this guy to port C, and you'd go do this for every single track that you're bringing across from Acid. And that's really all there is to it. So now you've got a pipe between Acid and Studio One. Oh, really? Why isn't that working? Oh, maybe. There we go. That's the audio coming in from Acid. Now you can do whatever you want with it here. You can record it in, bust it up, dump it on scratch pads. You can enable the chord track and actually change the chords in these WAV files, which is extremely cool, and another reason why I like using Studio One. There's a lot of good tools in Acid anymore, but Studio One is really a great place to do editing and mixing. And there you go. That's how you get audio out of Acid and into Studio One using Rewire. I hope that helped. Thanks.